Okay, sometimes people would just wait and stream later in the day, but I won't be able to guarantee that I always able to do that. So sometimes I am doing a blog for the day really quickly. So hey, it's Lord Volkhark. Sorry for the 3 minute gap of just my front page. I hope you guys like that, by the way. I just good friend of mine designed that, and I'm using it. Going to have to pay for it over about $55. It's not a bad payment for graphics design. So, what am I up to today? Well, I kind of wanted to do a talk through on some small things that affect my life, and then I kind of also wanted to do a talk to on things that are considered probably large things that affect my life. One of them being, well, I have ADD. I have ADD. I have dyslexia. Dyslexia and dysgraphia, and ADD is really a design factor that really has defined somewhat factors of my life. What does that mean? That it affects sometimes my attention span. And then it will affect my, viewing the world, my interaction of things. Probably hence why I, decided before I even got my last shoe on to start streaming, just because my time management is different appearances. Whenever I actually do time management, I'm kind of slamming through time and everything else at the last minute. Uh, but yeah, so that's going on. What else should I say? I mean, there's not much I can really say. That is a factor in my life. That is a true factor in my life. And it has affected me, but it also has made me who I am. I mean, when I read some interesting articles on the depth of, one of the things was dealing with a relationship with a person with ADD. Dealing with a relationship with a person with ADD is like should be dealing with a person that is normal as well. Because, well, there's not much the difference between person with AD and person without when you really look at certain things. But the interesting thing is how we have a deep retrospective of the world around us because we are taking in more unfiltered details. And we can spout out more honesty, truth, or things that we regret later because we really don't. It takes a lot for us to filter. And that's honest. It really does take a lot for me to filter sometimes. There's random crap that comes out. I will say what I feel is honest, without a thought to it. And that makes me stutter out, not stutter in exact actual stuttering, but that makes me slow down sometimes when I'm actually carrying on a conversation. But I like the idea of the retrospective, how we review the world and how we actually see more in depth, because we don't actually just see a basic. We try to see the world around us, and we can actually get into detail of another person in front of us, and we review a lot more of that person. And that can be creepy. I've had moments where I've spoken to people as like, so you're a dancer, and they're like, how the hell? No, I'm not. I was like, well, you were in high school, and they're like, how the hell do you tell that? I was like, your stance. And that creeped him the hell out, but I mean, it was there. This can be used as a very good communication tool. As much as ADD is supposed to be a gap for communication, it actually can be a boon for getting communication, because we also have a deep-seated understanding of don't disrespect the person because we've been there on bad days, and I guess good say would be we've had more bad days. Anybody with what would be termed as an affliction, which by the way is not an affliction, just something we have. Well, it gives you a better retrospective of what the world is around you. And I guess you could say that's a lot of things. That is a lot. it makes us have a sympathy that is larger by far. And the reason is because we don't want people treated the way that we are, or that we don't want people feeling the way we are treated or how we're viewed and everything else. I mean, it's very hard to, in the forefront, know someone has ADD, but when they actually do explain it, it's suddenly it can be viewed as a bad thing. And you know that's the depth, and that's for anything. Anything that is in dissipation of what is supposed to be normality, is definitely a rough sense of reality of this. So today on October 3rd, I spoke about that. And I don't speak about it often. The reason I don't speak about it often is because I really don't see it as a defining self that needs to be publicized to others. But do I feel I should hide it? No. If somebody were in depth enough to look at me and go, "Do you have ADD?" and I would say yes. I would be open about it. I see no reason not to be open about it. But I will admit I'm apprehensive of sharing it in many open forums. I'm working on that. I have a lot of self-reliance. I have to live. Everyone has to live, and there's a lot of self-reliance that we have to have for issues that we will create that could possibly be created. We believe. I want to say we. I believe, because I don't know about whether it's collective as a whole, but I believe that there are moments in between that I've done something, and that could be a force of false information toward me, my own review of myself. I put myself down just because I believe I've wronged somebody, or put myself down because I've made somebody angry, or in my view, I've made somebody angry. Anger is very hard, and it drives people nuts. And I'm like, "Are you okay?" is my famous phrase, and people will go, "Yeah, stop asking that." You understand is we make sure, because, and now I'm saying we again, I really should say I, because I'm not going to ensure that everyone is the same. Some of that subject information that I've read does reflect me. Not all of it, but a good deal of it, so I'm impressed. Does that mean that I should, hold that to all of us who have ADD? No. I don't hold the same thing for all the people who have dysgraphia or dyslexia. Same thing. So, what does that entail? Well, I mean, I have moments, like I said, spouting off random things, can't focus, small tasks, just, unfocusable and everything else. The piling thing actually surprised the shit out of me. There was a subtext about ADD people didn't organize stuff into a pile, and the reason they do that is because organization will have issues with it, but we make sure that it's organized into a pile so we know where the hell it is. And I do pile. And it makes an ADD person nervous when the pile gets too high, because it could be stuff they haven't done or everything else. And I do pile stuff. I have a big pile over by my desk by my bed, or my table by my bed. And that's right now. I have a pile behind me of stuff that's in my green chair. I have a pile of comic books over here that I haven't read yet that need to be sealed off. That's true. It happens. Mind you, the pile of comic books is a lot straighter and a lot more defined. Our organization skills can be like that, I guess, because that defined me. I don't know if that defines the whole, but it was there. And the nervousness about, spouting off random phrases, making people uncomfortable by review, and, the out of the box thinking. Apparently, I do. I'm really blown away. I have out of the box thinking. That is there. Creative thinking I can really see because I do love to write. I love the shit out of it. Love to write, and I love to imagine what should be probably written down sometimes. These are things that do exist. And under that subsistence, does that mean I would define it as all of us do this? I don't know. I would like to say yes, because it looks like some of these are really big ass games. And that's there. I love to do these, by the way. I do these unscripted. My blogs, I do my whole video sets. The only thing of scripting is I'm going to have somebody come along. I want to say this is how you say it to avoid, being found, yada yada. These people, I see people that might use a scripting, and then it's just like I go. I just go. I say, fuck it, and I, go along without a thought. I still haven't put that shoe on, by the way. There's my distraction, my self-distraction going on. So here's me putting on my actual shoe. You're going to see me bob around. So I guess that's today's blog is, what defines me as a person with a difference or a prescribed difference in a society that is supposed to be normal but is not. And I mean, I love the fact that it says we strive. Once we get into something, we strive really hard at it. And you know what? I've strived really hard at this. And I impressed the hell out of myself. I'm developing this. I'm working on what works for me, what I like. The text at the bottom of the page, the second camera for Bob. I mean, filming stuff, putting it together, making it look a lot better. These are things that I strive to, like, through craziness to do. And I don't know. I mean, I really feel that is true. That is honestly my character. If I enjoy the shit out of it, if I enjoy sharing about it, I do. Technology, I love sharing about the hell out of it, giving detail, reviewing detail. Why? Because it's there. Science in small holes, medical science, for some reason at random, I will, depth into that. Design. I love to learn about design. I love to look at design. I have an instantaneous issue where I will probably distract myself because it's going to take a while for something to design in, but, it's there. I don't know. Do I feel it affects my confidence? At moments, yes. But at the same time, it affects my confidence in good ways as well. Bad is yes earlier was meaning for bad ways, in good ways now. So, I mean, I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope that it gives heart to someone else. And I hope that me sharing shows to somebody that, well, to be honest, somebody we're not alone. We all do this. We are, depth of certain things. I'll try to provide some information. Maybe if I have somebody else ask questions, I want to see if they'll ask questions live. I'd love to do that. If I have somebody that has the same disability or, disorder, let's call it disorder, because I don't believe it's fully disability. I'd love to have a conversation with them. Share on here. I don't know. It's very interesting. The one thing I'd like to leave before I, stop is I want to say this. If drugging an individual worked, we wouldn't have prisons. Drugging a person with ADD, ADHD, in my mind, is completely unethical for one reason. All you did was crush that person. And for what reason, I don't know. I mean, you have to drug the person, not the disorder. You have to drug the person to affect that. And drugging a person has never gone well. It's defeated the person. You lose the person. I don't know. It's the horrible reality of what we finally gathered or finally understood. And I don't know what to say. I mean, that's a real factor. With that said, that's where I want to stand off on. That's a fear that I cannot plate. That's a fear I can't plate with. So, you guys have a wonderful day. This is one of my daily blogs that I'm going to try to do as much on days that I'm actually not filming for several hours in one day. Thanks for anybody for watching. Thanks for anybody actually adding me. So please add me on YouTube, Hitbox, and Twitch. From now on, I will be streaming directly on there. And thank you for giving me the opportunity, these websites, to share. Okay.